I got a buddy whose child would do that, only it would be in the middle of the house and would just smear it on everything. Babies are awful. So cute, so cuddly, just awful.
She has to have a video in there.
You know we're on. Yeah. Yeah. Like, come on, kid. Hold on to that, though, because that little twerp is going to be like 15, 16 one day, and it's going to be unappreciative and mouthy and moody, and you need to sit that child down. Be like, sit right here. Let me show you this video of you as a baby, and just bring it on him. Like, yo, you remember when you used to do that? No, and I loved you through that. Little twerp. You got any stories like that?
Not like that.
I don't think I do either.
Not like that.
Listen, I would break stuff. There's a story around where I went outside, couldn't find a stick, and just back in the day, you needed the car antenna. You had to have the car antenna. And I just snapped the antenna off at like 4 years old to play with it. And then thought I could just twist it back on and couldn't, and then went and told my mom. Yeah, well, dog, Jalen, my fault. Turn you down. I was 4, like I was this size at 4. So, yeah, there's that. Just kids, man, they're special people. Not necessarily the best, but they're special. What was the song?
I was too busy listening to the latest episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out.
Well,
There is no time for songs when journalism is at play. When the generational run of journalism that Pablo Torre has embarked upon has a new episode that drops at 5 a.m. on a Thursday. We'll get into it, but my God.
What a safe topic to talk about. Everybody else is talking about the unsafe stuff, and Pablo's like, nah, not me.
Pablo's like, I've got paperwork for days. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, September 18th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass coming up on today's show. As we were just discussing, new Pablo Torre Finds Out episode dropped, the latest in the Clippers Caps circumvention debacle. We'll get into that. WNBA playoff action last night was yet again elite. At least the second game of the evening, and 3 of the 4 first-round series are moving on to a game 3. We'll get into all of that. It is Thursday. It is draft day, and we are drafting best current college quarterbacks, favorite current college quarterbacks. We should probably figure out the designation before we'll go with favorite college quarterbacks. And then we'll do a little Theater Thursday, RIP Robert Redford, the funny meme that people finally had some clarity on. It was Robert Redford all along. It was not Zach Galifianakis, plus the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie coming out is getting insane reviews. We'll get into all of that. No Teresa Walker today. She will join us tomorrow. We'll fill the time without her. It's Thursday. You know what we say. Shout out journalism.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Let's go, Grizz, let's go!
Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
Well, really just, I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out. Let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, I have it my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday, one day closer to Friday. I hope you were having a good enough week. CJ, did you play tennis last night?
Yeah.
I saw a very angry post from you on social media.
I'm a very angry man right now.
Okay.
Let me set the scene.
Do you need a little therapy to
That's
start your Thursday?
why the lights are off. Because I'm in full, like, anger mode.
Okay.
Go out there to the tennis court, and I'm looking around, and I see 2 older Asian-American gentlemen. They're both got to be over 60s. It's like, oh, okay. All right. I'm going to get my second tennis win ever. One of them is talking. He's like, yeah, my knee's been acting up, flaring up. It's an old football injury. I was like, oh, and they've got sports injuries? He starts walking, and he walks like this, right? Like he's walking with an obvious limp.
Okay.
Obvious limp. One of them, between sets, takes oxygen. Like he's got a mini oxygen tank, and he's just breathing the oxygen. Like, oh, yeah, we can get this. Nope, not at all. We were up 5-0 in the tiebreaker final set and ended up losing that thing 10-7. They demolished us. I'm so tired of these old people whooping my ass at tennis. It's ridiculous. I play tennis like twice a week. I'm playing Flex League now. But during the summertime, I was playing twice a week with a bunch of older black dudes. And by older, I mean 65 and up. And they would wear my little young ass out. And I'm not that damn young, but I'm sick and tired of old people beating me at tennis. I am outraged by it. Even things like I can't take anything for granted. I'm not good at tennis, but surely I should be able to beat people in a walker. Nope, can't even do that. Outrageous.
I hate when that happens.
When's the last time you played tennis?
With my dad on Father's Day.
Who won?
We weren't competing. He was nursing a sports injury, and I was nursing a sports injury.
Commish, if you can hear me.
We were team, no one gets hurt.
If you can hear me, I'll find a lady partner. Me and Kyra will play you and Jessica next time he comes into town.
No, my dad is a very active, very efficient.
He would beat me. He would beat me.
No, you don't understand.
No,
if my dad and I sniffed the
am.
opportunity to win, then we probably would go all out and try to win, and then we'd both end up with injuries.
But you'd win.
But we'd win, so you're right.
You beat me.
I do love a win.
Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick and tired of being bad at tennis.
I'm thirsty for a big win.
Oh, come on. Grizzly season around the corner.
We'll get to the Pablo Torre. I want to give the WNBA playoff action from last night its proper due because you won't get its proper due in other places because, again, the playoffs are during the NFL season, and that makes it just disappear into the sports universe.
But nothing was happening last night. Last night was incredible.
Yeah, nothing was happening last night, and yet you want to talk about Bills-Dolphins this morning? Because that's a terrible Thursday night football game we get. All I wanted was to hear a little bit of discourse on the games from last night, and I could not find it. We'll get into that. Like, I spend my mornings the second I wake up, I want to consume something and get the creative juices flowing. So I'm listening to any podcast, any sports show. I try to keep it sports related, but sometimes there's just nothing. Like I could not find a single WNBA morning after podcast to listen to people discuss the games from last night. So I ended up just listening to my little pop business podcast that I dabble with. I listened to a little bit of The Daily, but then that was depressing me, so I just turned it off. And I get on Twitter and I'm scrolling, and all of a sudden I see Pablo Torre tweet the eyeball emoji, and I'm like, ooh, that's intriguing. And I click on his page, and there's a new episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out that dropped at 5 a.m. this morning, which would have been perfect time as I'm curling my hair, as I'm putting the mascara on. I could have been listening the whole time. So I ended up listening to it later in the morning, and we'll get into all those findings. But I imagine Pablo Torre right now, he just gets to feel the feeling of a win over and over. And like, it just has to be such an incredible, I told you so, I keep telling you so, I have all this evidence, I have paperwork, I have logos, I have signatures. That's got to feel real good from a journalist right now. That said, we had real wins in the WNBA last night. Playoff action. Now 3 of the 4 playoff series are going to a third game, a decisive third game. One comes to an end as the Lynx advanced to the semis last night in a game where they came back down 17 against the Valkyries, my Valkyries. An unreal game. The Lynx were down 63-49 going into the fourth quarter. They put together a 24-9 run that got them back the lead. They end up winning 75-74. A Courtney Williams mid-range icer put them up 3 with about 30 seconds left. Valkyries hit a layup on the other end. Lynx have the ball back. Did you watch the end of the game, how that played out?
I stayed up way too late to watch
So the Valkyries, what did you think of their decision not to foul? They played the percentages.
That's what you're... I hate fouling.
I do too.
I hate fouling in that situation. Down 1, 28, 29 seconds on the clock. So you get a stop, you get the rebound, you go out there, and then you call timeout and you set yourself up. I loved the Valkyries' decision not to foul there. What I hated was what the Lynx were doing on offense, where they were just content to dribble the ball out and not even get a shot up when you know you're only up 1. Yeah. And they get the ball back with about 5 seconds roughly left in the game. That's enough time to run a set, take a couple of dribbles, and get a good shot up. Why are you not trying to get downhill, get to the rim, and make a play at the basket? They were expecting, it had to be, they were thinking, oh, we'll pass the ball around, hold on to it, they're going to foul us. But with 10 seconds left on the shot clock, with 14 seconds left on the shot clock, if they ain't fouled you yet, they're not going to foul. Go out there and play basketball.
Yeah, Xander Lassini had a good look for the Valkyries.
Great
the Valkyries easily could have won that game based on how the Lynx played possum. And they end up getting the win. They end up advancing. And I don't want to take away from their comeback because it was one of those instances where the Lynx are the number 1 seed, and they're the number 1 seed for the reason. And they are the number 1 team in the WNBA this season by a pretty wide margin. Like throughout the year, it became the tier 1, we had the period where it was the Lynx and the Liberty, and then that dropped off. But it was always the Lynx. Is anybody in the same category as the Lynx? And they showed last night on the road, you face adversity, you go down 17. Are you built for it? And the Lynx were built for it. Nafisa Collier was a mid-range assassin. She was automatic in the mid-range. She ends up with 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, just a machine. But a full team effort. Yeah, go ahead.
And didn't shoot free throws well.
Did not.
Didn't shoot free throws well. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but it was her. It was Bridget Carlson, who hit 4 big threes for Minnesota, and then Kayla McBride's playmaking on both ends. It was huge from the offensive standpoint. Her defense was so important. Those 3 really fueled the comeback. And then you get the big shot from Courtney Williams, and you saw her reaction to that shot. She'd been kind of baited into taking threes for most of the night, which isn't her most efficient part of her game. She finally gets to her place, makes them pay, gets the big one.
It was an incredible play.
Yeah.
Where it is ball movement, player movement, ball ends up in the short corner, shot fake, put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, somebody rotates over defensively, kick it out to Courtney shot fake, get one dribble, get into her shot, which is a mid-range shot. Right there, I stood up and quiet, because my wife was asleep, I quietly yelled as loud as I could, because that's the basketball I grew up playing. Mm-hmm. And that's how I was taught to play basketball. It was so refreshing to see her get that type of opportunity and get that type of shot off of that type of ball move. I can't think of the last time I sat down and watched an NBA game and it had that type of ball movement, right? It had to be the Spurs in like the early 2000, like 2004, 2005 San Antonio Spurs that had that type ball movement. We are so ISO oriented on the men's side of things professionally that it takes away from the ball movement and the player movement. And it was good to see that type of basketball being played last night.
They are such a ball on a string team. It just moves. And again, a team, no one expected Courtney Williams, like if you would, as the game is ongoing, what's going to be the thing that ultimately pushes the Lynx into a win? Courtney Williams' mid-range ice in her veins shot was low on the list.
Really?
Yes, based on how she was playing last night.
Well,
based on the game. But that's what makes this team good. That's what makes this roster good. That's what makes these players good is, you know, when you're in the playoffs, when you're in this wasn't an elimination game, but an opportunity to not have to play a game 3, you can have a player who is not having a very good game and then rises to the moment and ends up with one of the most crucial shots. We'll get to the other game, and there were players who did not have that same effort last night on the other end for the New York Liberty that I know CJ will probably be thrilled to talk about at some point.
Listen, we can get to them whenever we get to them.
I want to stay with the Valkyries.
With the good.
I want to give my Valkyries.
If I was a basketball coach and I had a talented team, right, middle school, high school, various levels of college, professional men's and women's, over here and abroad, right? If I had one of the most talented teams in whatever league I'm in, they will sit down and watch this game start to finish at some point in time, because the Lynx are the more talented team. They're the 1 seed for all the reasons that you named, and the Valkyrie are coming out hitting them constantly. At 1 point, 7 for 11 from 3, down 17. Every time they made a play, the Valkyrie made a play. Every time they went on a little run, the Valkyrie went on a run to continue to push it, and they did not stop. They did not quit. Right, so often in those type situations, especially in the playoffs when it's a best of whatever and you're up, we see teams look around and say, okay, it's their night, it's not our night. Let's, go through the motions, not really try and compete because like they got it tonight, we'll get it back on our home court. And the Lynx said no. They played that game like it was their elimination game. They went out there, they got down, and they kept clawing. You could tell they were clawing by how hard they were playing defensively and how active they got defensively after they got down 17. They decided, all right, we're going to get up into them. We're not going to allow the Valkyrie to just get open looks from 3. If they get by us, we're going to help, but we're also going to fly around the court and rotate. You had Heidemann getting a block on a 3 at one point in time, forcing a shot clock violation. You had multiple instances where players were just being disruptive in the passing lane and off the bounce there for the Lynx. They could have said, hey, we'll get it back in the next game, and they probably would have gotten it back in the next game. But they decided, no, let's step on them now. If that's their best, fine. We're going to play our best, and we're not going to shrink away from this moment. And again, too many times in basketball, the better team sort of, after getting hit in the mouth the way that the Lynx got hit, sort of shrink away and say, all right, it's not our night. We'll get it back next time. And they didn't do that. That was tremendous.
Shout out to the Valkyries. An incredibly impressive inaugural season comes to the end.
Wish I was there for that.
I would have killed to experience one Valkyries game, even though the game last night wasn't even at Chase. They had to move to an arena in San Jose because Chase Center was booked out for a tennis tournament. So the Valkyries' first ever home playoff game did not get to be played in their home arena that they sold out for every single home game this season. But still, those fans traveled, they showed up. The response of the fans after the game came to an end and the Valkyries had lost said everything. The applause, the appreciation, like that team and fan base became a unit. Like, you talk about a blueprint for any expansion team going forward. The biggest thing the Valkyries managed to do this year was create an identity. Like, that's one of the hardest things for a new company, a new brand, a new whatever to come up with, because identity can't really be forced. Or I guess it can be forced, but it's not as effective. If you're able to create a natural identity, an organic identity, which the Valkyries did with their fans who showed up every game from the jump, put your V's up. They designated their home arena as Valhalla. The team rose. And listen, we talked about it at the beginning of the season. I decided to be a Valkyries fan. My husband is from the Bay Area. It made sense that this would be the WNBA team that we embraced. But we expected to watch a really terrible season from the Golden State Valkyries, a team that was pieced together by no real stars when they did the expansion draft, and you go into the WNBA draft and you get young players and you had a lot of international players. And my God, through the entirety of this year, they managed to create stars in their own right. They managed to make it through injuries. Their one all-star that they end up having in Kayla Thornton gets injured in the middle of the season, and they still end up making it to the playoffs. They have a handful of players who have to go take time off to play Euroball, and they still play a good enough brand of basketball to make it to the playoffs at the end of the year. And Veronica Burton, who ends up winning Most Improved Player this year, revives her career, or resets her career, I should say. She was always good, but sometimes you just need the opportunity to rise into being the star, and she took advantage of that. Natalie Nakase, Coach of the Year, first ever expansion coach to win Coach of the Year in the WNBA. She said it should be a coaching staff award. That's really a testament to who she is as a coach and just the whole thing working there in Golden State. They obviously don't get their first ever franchise playoff win, but you would easily convince yourself that a playoff win will come sometime soon for the Valkyries.
They grabbed, it was mentioned on the call, they grabbed a bunch of women who were like 6 players off of their bench, right? So the first person off of the bench, they grabbed a bunch of them. And when you have that type of a player who's accustomed to sacrificing for the good of the whole, you have that type of player coming in, and you got a bunch of that type of player coming in. Yeah, they're gonna gel together quite nicely and be willing to sacrifice for the good of the team, and that's what we saw the Valkyrie be able to do. It was so loud in there, you could hardly hear Nafisha Collier on the post-game interview, and she took a moment to talk about how incredible that environment was. I mean, the game shot goes up, game ends, and everybody's they're already on their feet because it's the last shot is a shot to potentially send it back to Minnesota for a pivotal game 3 or a decisive game 3. And they just stay standing, clapping, cheering, shouting. You've got the young woman who missed the shot, I'm blanking on her name right now, missed the shot on the ground crying, teammates helping her up as fans are clapping and cheering and making all the noise possible to let them know that they are appreciated and what they did was incredible. And it's so much so that the opposing team is talking about that moment. They stayed on their feet. Think about that. That play happens, shots missed, everybody's running around celebrating or distraught looking for comfort. The fans are cheering the whole time. They go to Brooke and Fee for the interview, and they're still standing and cheering, and they continue to do so as the broadcast crew throws to whatever's coming up next. I don't know. They might still be standing and cheering. Right, they might not ever leave that place. Those fans, I don't know when they left or what caused them to stop cheering. That moment was incredible, and it shows how much people care about the W. How much people who care about the W care about the W, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It was a fun scene at the end, even through the heartache of the Valkyries. The earlier game of the evening was just a bloodbath.
I missed this entirely because I was out there
getting
in the midst
your own bloodbath on the tennis court.
So
the Mercury just rocked the Liberty.
But that's to be expected. The Liberty are 14-0 when Sabrina, John Quell, and Breanna Stewart start and finish games. Did Breanna play?
Yes.
Did Sabrina play?
Yes.
Did Stewie play?
Yes.
Stewie played?
Yes.
Ooh.
But should she have played?
Okay.
When it came out that she was going to play, she's dealing with this MCL injury, and they have all sorts of technology and things that are supposed to, they shouted it out during the broadcast of how much work was going on to make sure her knee was good enough to play throughout the game. But, you know, that all factors into the game plan of the Liberty. Did they know she was going to be available? How that impacts the team as they get ready for a big game like this. They did have home court advantage because they stole game 1 in Phoenix. They are the higher seeded team. They're the 5 seed, the Mercury are the 4 seed. But they just got smoked. And Sabrina Ionescu, 3 of 13, 1 of 8. We're watching the game while Chris is cooking dinner, and it's yet another Sabrina miss. And I think it was after she had 1 turnover, and it was a bad turnover. And Chris goes, "Ooh, CJ is going to have a field day with this one. So that's your reputation at this point. Congratulations,
why y'all
Sabrina
making it out
Hater.
to be like, I just despise this woman.
Well, Chris asked me, he was like, what's the issue with Sabrina? Like, why are there people like CJ who have...
Are there more of me?
Yeah, I think there's a
then.
trend of those who identified Sabrina as overrated. And then I think there got to a point where there were so many people saying she was overrated that then she became kind of underrated. She has the big game in the finals last year and then has the no-show appearance in the decisive game of that finals.
Champion.
Still wins a ring, still has a ring. Liberty are champions. So I think there is this growing pile of evidence, or at least sprinkle of evidence, of shrinking in big games. And when you need the most, she has not been able to consistently provide that for the Liberty. And last night was certainly one of those cases. But the entire team looked disjointed as all get out.
The entire
and
team is going to look that way if your best player looks that.
One of your three best players.
What is supposed to be your best player. It's
or
one of your three, but she's supposed to be your best.
Primary playmaker, your point guard, the captain of your offense. So that said, the Mercury were just awesome. Like, Alyssa Thomas does not get nearly enough credit for being one of the best players in the WNBA. And watching that game last night was just another reminder, and she almost averaged a triple-double this season. And the coach of the Mercury, Nate Tibbetts, had a great quote on her after the game and just said, "That's a beautiful mind." Like, I think she's just a savant when it comes to knowing the game. And that is what you find yourself thinking when you're watching Alyssa Thomas, and she's the spark for it, and her energy and her physicality and everything she brings to it just kind of puts itself on the rest of the team, and they follow suit. And then they end up having, I think, what was the biggest road win for, like a biggest must-win road win for any team in WNBA playoff history. If I had picked the Liberty, I didn't do any official picks going in, but I would sit here this morning and say, no, I switch. I plead to switch. I would like to take the Mercury in this series because they just look like the better team right now.
Yeah. Listen, I'd have to go back. It's recorded. Oh, it's recorded. I look forward to sitting down and watching it at some point in time. But this is the thing that I've always said about Sabrina. I said I was going to ease off of her because, again, she's a champion. So you can't take that away from her. And so some of this kind of gold falls at the wayside. But she does feel sometimes front-runner-ish, where if things are good, she's going to be great. But if things are bad, she's not going to be good. And that's concerning. They get another game, though. It's not like they lost twice. It's not over.
But they lost the one on their home court.
But they won. They won in Phoenix last time. They do play in Phoenix, right? Yeah, they play in Phoenix. So they won there, game one. They can do so again. They're going to have to do some deep soul searching, and somebody's going to have to pick up the slack. Because if Stewie's not 100% and not close to 100%, somebody out there, I'm not sure who is going to have to pick up the slack. I would love for it to be Sabrina. Because that's supposed to be the best player on the team. Never mind Jonquel Jones, who's great, and Stewie,
I would
who's
say
also
Brianna
great.
Stewart is the definitively best player on the team.
Sabrina's younger. Sabrina has less wear and tear on her. Sabrina has the ball in her hand the most out of all three of them. Sabrina's supposed to be the playmaker, the facilitator, and the one who can score. Like, it's supposed to be Sabrina. I would think it's supposed to be Sabrina.
I think it's Stewie.
Okay.
But you do need more from Sabrina, especially if you're going to get out of this first round. More WNBA playoff action tonight. What would you rather watch, CJ? Just out of curiosity. Fever Dream, Storm Aces, or Bills Dolphins? I kind of want to watch Bills Dolphins for the comedy. I'm not trying to make this a WNBA versus NFL debate. I'm just genuinely interested how my time will be split.
Can I choose other?
Sure.
I want to be in the locker room after the game of Bills Dolphins. I want to be in the Dolphins locker room.
In the Dolphins
I want to be
locker
in the
room.
Dolphins locker room.
You want to hear what Mike McDaniel says after they get beat by 40 points? I'm going to look really stupid if the Dolphins come out and put together an inspired performance.
I want to know what Tyreek and Tua are doing.
Oh.
That's what I want to know. That's who I want to know. That's the interaction. I want to be in the locker right in between those two. And I'm just going to sit there like this, and I'm going to tap Tua, like, hey, Tua, I know you got the presidential, the youth, like, sports thing or whatever we call it.
The sports committee.
You're on the sports committee. But I just thought this dude over here, your boy Tyreek, said you ain't shit. And then I just want to step back and watch him go at it.
And see it burn.
See if it pops off. See if it pops off.
Not a Bills member anymore, but a former Bills member. Did you see that Stephon Diggs and Cardi B are having a baby?
I heard Cardi B was pregnant. I did not know it was Diggs.
I have to admit, I had the same realization yesterday. But then weren't they on a boat together? Wasn't that the whole preseason thing?
Yeah, remember
he had
the pink Himalayan salt.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
right.
boat.
Yes.
Oh.
God, pink Himalayan salt will get you every time.
I got a big bottle of pink Himalayan salt in my cupboard. That's how I know it's pink Himalayan. Are they still together? That's the part I don't know. I know they were together, but then Cardi B made Outside, so I was thinking, oh, she broke up with Stephon Diggs. Look at her.
Yeah.
And now she's pregnant by Stephon Diggs, so I don't know what's going on.
Love.
Is it
the
love?
creation of a new
It might just be
human
pretty
being.
people
the
getting
circle
together.
of life, and it moves us all. All right, what moves me every week at this point is a new episode of Pablo Torre finds out that reveals yet another layer of the onion that is the Clippers and aspiration and Kawhi Leonard and were they circumventing the cap. I will give you the latest from Pablo Torre that dropped this morning. Plus, we will be drafting quarterbacks in college football, and we're going with our favorite quarterbacks in college football. So get your stats out of here and go with vibes only. All that after a quick break.
You want to be where you think the University of Memphis belongs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the next step is?
I think we're positioned, we're ripe for success. And so what I don't want to do is make an intermediate move if it's not going to position us well. And so my job is to make sure when that opportunity presents itself and the circumstance is right, that Memphis is prepared 100% to take advantage of it.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
you want to be where you think the University of Memphis belongs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the next step is?
I think we're ripe for success. And so what I don't want to do is make an intermediate move if it's not going to position us well. And so my job is to make sure when that opportunity presents itself and the circumstance is right, that Memphis is prepared 100% to take advantage of it.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Welcome back. I began my Thursday with a little episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out, my favorite show on non-television, on streaming. It is wild that we are 12 days away from NBA media days, all of the NBA teams reporting for training camp. Lots of questions will be asked. And if you are the Clippers, that has to be a little daunting considering you're the biggest story of the offseason. The rest is still unwritten. Adam Silver said yesterday that he plans to get to the bottom of it. Also said the investigation will take time. They want to be thorough. And I think that's important ultimately because this is shaping up to be the biggest scandal? Question mark of the Adam Silver era?
No.
No?
No. We can't forget about two-time NAACP
Donald
award
Sterling?
winner Donald Sterling.
You can make the argument. Both involve the Clippers. I do think the interesting thing, and Pablo Torre kind of points this out in his latest episode, of which he gifted us at 5:17 a.m. Central Time with a good morning. And there are some questions that get answered within this episode and further reporting, capital J journalism by Pablo Torre. The thing that makes this feel different, not necessarily more important, less important than the Donald Sterling case, is with Donald Sterling, you had it on tape, right? Like you had him saying it. And when you hear, we are a nation that has to see things or hear things or have definitive proof and a real smoking gun, like, we got you because you did this. But in most cases, you're not going to have a smoking gun. Smoking guns don't always exist. That definitive gotcha doesn't always exist. Like most people, as I spit, most people have the wherewithal to not write their crime down on a piece of paper and say, hey, look right here, like I did this, right? So where the situation arises with the Clippers now is you have this continuing mountain of evidence piling up that certainly, in my opinion, the rational and logical conclusion to make is Pablo Torre's reporting is painting the picture that allegedly, for legal reasons, the Clippers circumvented the cap in a pretty deep and layered way with this aspiration company. And even Dan Le Batard is on today's episode with Pablo Torre because they were originally going to have a conversation about journalism, but then Pablo Torre came with more documents and more evidence to go through with Le Batard. And Le Batard points out that like Steve Ballmer could bankrupt his entire company if Pablo Torre has one thing wrong in this reporting. And that's very true, especially in today's climate. Like there is a steadfast desire to sue publications, to pursue legal action against publications or media that you do not agree with or that you think is painting you in a bad light. But if Pablo Torre has the airtight reporting that he continues to lay out, and as he has continued to lay out, the sensible thing is to think, man, Pablo Torre is crushing this whole journalism thing right now, and we don't get a lot of that in the sports space these days, primarily because no one has the money for it, no one has the time for it, and no one really has the attention span for it. But Pablo Torre has time, and he wanted to find out, and he has found out quite a lot. So in the continuation of this story and one of the more elaborate salary cap circumvention schemes that we have ever seen in sports, one of the characters that has popped into this is Mark Cuban, who has kind of become the voice of the billionaires, the voice of Steve Ballmer, the defender of Steve Ballmer and the Clippers, and saying, you know, Steve Ballmer was scammed. He is a victim in this situation. And one of the things that Steve Ballmer and others, or Mark Cuban and others pointed out is, why wouldn't Steve Ballmer try to save this company if he knew that its failure and ultimate bankruptcy was going to lead to the lid being blown off of this whole salary cap circumvention? And Pablo Torre has an answer for that. And it is that essentially, like, Steve Ballmer tried. So the big, I guess the smoking gun of this episode, or the big happening of this episode, is that in September of 2021, Steve Ballmer invested $50 million into this aspiration company. But then the company blew through that money rather quickly. And then in 2022, the Clippers ended up buying a lot of carbon credits, or funding carbon credits. And a reminder, Aspiration was a broker for carbon credits. Carbon credits are these things that are there to offset carbon emission. And it turns out that the Clippers funded various carbon credits. And strangely enough, that funding would happen right around the time that Kawhi Leonard was due one of his payments. So here's a company that perhaps could not pay out Kawhi Leonard on its own. What would the Clippers perhaps do, allegedly do? They would put money into this company, and then there would be money in order to pay Kawhi Leonard what he was owed. And there is a text message from Uncle Dennis in this episode, a text message basically implying that the payment is late. What's going on? We don't have this payment at this time. And you have instances in spring of 2022, again at the start of 2023, where the Clippers, and there is documentation on Clippers letterhead signed by the chief financial officer for the Clippers, okaying these large amounts of money, millions and millions of dollars, to go into these carbon credit funds. So again, it's like one more box checked off in the paper trail of Pablo Torre checking all the boxes. Like, so many boxes have been checked. But it's a great listen. Don't take it from me. Go listen to it. Like, one of Pablo Torre's biggest not issues, but just critiques on everyone. So many people have consumed this via clips, or via tweets, or via Mark Cuban's tweets about Pablo Torre, or someone else's tweets, or many of the NBA journalists, instead of going through and listening to, at this point, all 3 episodes that have been primarily dedicated to this story. And he's like, the whole point is, it's not a gotcha. It's just the continued laying out of evidence, of new information as it comes through, and as he's able to get the proper sourcing, right? Because, like, you don't run with something with one source, you get 2 sources, or in this case, airtight sources. And he has multiple people from the company who continue to talk and have their voice manipulated so you don't know who they are.
Incredible stuff.
It's so
incredible
good.
stuff. I will be listening to it 5 a.m. I'm into my day by that point. But when my life slows down Friday after I leave here, usually I listen to Pablo Torre Finds Out at, like, on Saturdays, early in the morning as I'm playing my World Civ, which your boy's struggling right now, but that's okay. About to end this era and then start a new game, but that's when I usually listen to it. I look forward to hearing part 3 of this Kawhi saga. And also, man, listen, Pablo, he got it. We talk about this and y'all think I'm joking. No, I'm not. Pablo's talking about it. He's got it. So just assume everything you've done, he knows, and do your best to be quiet about it and pray it goes away. I guess. Certainly don't challenge him on it. Don't do the whole, well, why didn't I do that then, huh? There's no way he's going to get that information. And then you look up and lo and behold, he's got the information. Just stop. Call your boy, if he is your boy, if he's not a double agent in this situation, but, like, call your guy. Be like, hey, I need you, Mr. Cuban, to shut the hell up. We need something else.
Why did you lay these breadcrumbs out?
Be quiet for me. I may or may not have done it. I need you, though, to stop antagonizing Pablo Torre. Stop trying to explain my way out of this, because I have to pay for it, not you, me. And again, we talked about this with Mike on Tuesday. It was great. I think it warrants you going back and listening to that part of the conversation with Mike, where the NBA doesn't need burden of proof. The NBA doesn't need even a crime to be committed for them to step in and say, okay, we've got to levy out some sort of a punishment. We saw it here with Ja a couple of times, and we've seen it with other players throughout the history of not just the NBA, but other leagues as well. This is one of those instances where the NBA doesn't need anything more than to believe that something untoward happened, and then they need to get the 29 other owners on board with it, and they can come down here and levy out whatever punishment they deem fit to the Clippers and to the owner. So like this is a situation I'm curious to see how it continues to play out. And again, if this is being laid out there so eloquently, so airtightly that, hey, this is a thing that happened, I'm flummoxed by why we're not hearing something from James Dolan. I'm confused why Mickey Harrison isn't like talking.
That's
right?
why I think this is the biggest scandal of the Adam Silver era, because it adds the layer. Donald Sterling wasn't liked.
And that's why they got
Steve
him
Ballmer
up out of
is
there.
liked. Steve Ballmer is seen as a beacon of the ownership groups.
Will
not groups, but
anything happen?
Exactly.
That's the thing. That's where we are with. That's where I am.
How
with
do you and the reminder to everybody, like, Adam Silver is not Steve Ballmer's boss. Steve Ballmer is Adam Silver's boss. So how a league figures out what was that word that Jada Pinkett Smith used? Entanglements. The entanglements of the NBA and owners.
This is absolutely
this is an entanglement. We are back in entanglement territory.
I hope nobody gets the hell slapped out of them.
I hope not too. Well, that'd be entertaining. But you see too, like yesterday, I don't know if you saw that Baxter Holmes at ESPN had a piece out on this situation. And basically the TLDR, the Clippers are done building around Kawhi. And in case you had any question, the Clippers aren't going to be seeking a new deal with him in 2027.
Because they lost their finance arm.
You think?
They lost the additional $28 million.
But it was essentially like Kawhi asked for all of these things, and Uncle Dennis asked for all of these things for Kawhi. And Steve Ballmer has to get out of the Kawhi Leonard business was one of the anonymous quotes. But I saw some people talk about the piece as, oh, here we go. This is the attempt to turn this into pinning it on Kawhi, pinning it on Uncle Dennis. I actually didn't read the article that way. I read the article as a pretty fair report and a reminder that everyone involved in this story has their hands messy. There is not necessarily, there doesn't always have to be an innocent party and a guilty party. Sometimes it's everybody. Sometimes everybody was a part of the club. So was it Steve Ballmer? Was it the Clippers? Was it the other Dennis who works for the Clippers, the minority owner? Was it Kawhi Leonard? Was it Uncle Dennis? Was it Aspiration being a scammy company from the jump? Like, all of those things can lead you to the place where Pablo Torre has infinite pieces of paper saying, yeah, you all did this. In the end, it doesn't have to be a pin. Now, we operate in a society where people do get things pinned on them so that other people can be absolved of consequences and absolved of criminal designation. So perhaps in that regard, sure. But I'm just eating the popcorn. I'm just having a good time consuming all of this.
Not my monkeys, not my circus, dog. Y'all got it. I'm going to sit back like you.
Yeah.
You got the popcorn, I got the Cracker Jacks. We just going to watch this all play out. Because, again, I don't think anything right now today, if you said, CJ, what do you think will be the end result of this? It will be absolutely nothing. I don't think anything is going to happen because recklessly, I have no information about these types of things at all. And I'm not going to narrow it to the NBA, but I'm going to throw all of these sports leagues in there. Recklessly, especially in a capped sport, recklessly, I think this type of stuff happens.
Yeah.
I think this type of stuff, or something along the lines of, hey, come here. Yeah, you're going to take a pay cut, but don't worry, we'll cover all of the living expenses.
And a lot of people get away with it.
Yeah.
And Pablo Torre puts out, they would have gotten away with this. It's not like they were dumb. This was a very multi-layered, pretty smart plan by everybody. The issue was the bankruptcy filing. The issue was leakers within Aspiration coming to Pablo Torre. He's like, without those internal sources, this isn't a story. Without them naming the LLC, KL2 LLC, this probably isn't a story. So maybe that's where you say they were a little not smart in the whole ordeal. Like, if they could not so crystal clear say, hey, look, Kawhi Leonard #2 LLC, KL2, then maybe this gets shut off before it ever gets to this point. But God, once the floodgates are open, please, Pablo Torre, never investigate me. I want him to investigate many things. Why stop at sports? Continue. Keep going. Reach for the stars, even if you miss.
Trying to get him fired?
No.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
You can't investigate. You can't even.
Sorry, I
talk
forgot we can't
about
investigate
it.
anymore.
You can't even talk about it. Shh. I've said too much.
Hush. You're saying too much. We are talking about quarterbacks. We're taking a break and we're coming back and we're drafting quarterbacks.
That's my quarterback.
Best. What?
That's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback. Who makes you say, that's my quarterback in college football this year? I've got some good ones. I'm so glad that you agreed on favorite quarterbacks instead of best quarterbacks.
There's
This
no
makes
way.
it a much more fun draft for me.
There's no way I can draft best quarterbacks.
5 best?
Right now.
Yeah, I was really
I
struggling on that
can't
criteria.
I have no clue who the best dudes are right now.
All right, we are drafting favorite quarterbacks in college football this season after a quick break.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Let's go, Grizz, let's go!
Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish.
Defense, take them ball! Defense, take them ball!
Jared with a rejection.
Give me that!
Moran digs at it, knocks it away. Picked up by Pippen. Bob, Brendan Clark.
On that rim!
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
Well, really just, I was really looking at the success that Memphis had as something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You want to be where you think the University of Memphis belongs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the next step is?
I think we're positioned, we're ripe for success. And so what I don't want to do is make an intermediate move if it's not going to position us well. And so my job is to make sure when that opportunity presents itself and the circumstance is right, that Memphis is prepared 100% to take advantage of it.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Welcome back, welcome back. It is Thursday. That means it is draft day. And today we are drafting our favorite quarterbacks in college football this season. Did you want us to do a draft of the best quarterbacks in college football this season? That's too difficult because all the ones who were supposed to be good have kind of stunk a little bit. I talked about this on Vernon Show yesterday, and we came to the conclusion that people are desperate for fun young quarterbacks right now because we are in a desert of quarterback play. all of the ones we deemed him going into the season, particularly Arch Manning, DJ Lagway, Lenora Sellers, have not quite lived up to
Cade Klubnik.
Cade Klubnik. How dare I forget Cade Klubnik?
Nussmeier, right? Like I know that they're 3-0, but still,
the Nuss bus hasn't been a
performance
star.
Lends itself to something that you want a bit more to be desired. We do this every single year with the quarterback position. Instead of letting the season play out, we anoint a handful of quarterbacks collegiately to be the dudes who everybody needs to keep an eye on. And sometimes it hits. Sometimes we are right about, okay, there's something different about this one here.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, this year, none of them have.
Mm-hmm.
None, and it hadn't been close for any of them this year. Even stop and think about some of the fringe ones, right? Remember Avery Johnson? Like, nope, we are all the way off of Avery.
Jalen Daniels?
Jalen Daniels, another one. We are all the way off of those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Even for somebody like me, like a Noah Fafita, like just all the way off as it pertains to what they actually are at that position. So, favorite it is. We can do best at the end of the year.
Sure.
We can do best like week 9 or 10. We'll know by then. Somebody will have emerged by then. But for now, it's just got to be favorite.
Favorite quarterbacks in college football this season, thus far. We're 3 weeks into the season, but there are some very fun ones. So, who gets the first pick? I am a normal duck. You are a purple duck.
I'm a plaid duck, actually.
Oh, thank you. That's not plaid.
Yeah, it is.
It looks like polka dots.
Is it polka dots?
Or stars.
Is it star? I don't know.
I don't think it's plaid.
I'm a multi-colored.
Plaid or squares?
Oh, come on. That first off, I feel like that race was way too short. Is it always 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually really wanted you to have the first one. Because you know me, I collect.
Take the cow, dude.
No, I wasn't going to take him first, but are you going to take him first? See, here, for you, this is a game. For me, this is family. Family.
What?
I collect quarterbacks. I collect off the beaten path quarterbacks who can convince me to watch Cal, Minnesota on a Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. on ESPN, but a normal person isn't really involved or invested in their success. Now I'm struggling because I don't know who you are going to try to steal from me in these moments, but I don't want to risk it.
Don't risk it.
I'm not going to. So with my number one pick.
You better take him. You better take him.
God.
You better take him,
No,
Jessica.
I'm going to take the one. I'm going to stay true to my plan. Okay. I'm going to take the one that I think you could also make the argument of best quarterback in college football right now. He is second in Heisman odds. He is someone who I have followed since his time in the Palouse at WSU, now the quarterback at Oklahoma. Give me John Crazy Legs Mateer. Give me John Mateer, fun as hell. They don't call him Crazy Legs for nothing. Signature win over Michigan, could get another win with Auburn this week. Very intrigued by that game, one of the games of the week. But John Mateer has played at a high level thus far this season. He makes some big throws, but really it's what he does when he has to improvise that makes him one of those fun quarterbacks to watch. You will not have a bad time watching John Mateer play quarterback.
Great. Give me the Cal Corby.
No, you don't get to take him if you can't say his name.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Everybody knows his name, Jessica. Why do I have to say his name?
No, you do not get to take him if you don't know his name.
Why do I need to know his name, Jalen?
Because that's respectful.
What?
Yeah, you're treating the draft as a joke. There's new rules in this country, so I'm making them right now on this show. And
Jaren Kiawe?
No, wrong.
Sagapulitele.
Wrong.
What? So I can't. You're not going to let me take him?
Nope.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're ridiculous. You're a ridiculous human being.
I called the FCC, and they said if CJ cannot pronounce the name of the Cal quarterback, he simply cannot take him in this draft. It's that simple.
I wish those were. I would have known those were the rules.
Well, sometimes you don't know them until they hit you.
It's up there, but it's up there, so I got him. God, take it down.
It's Jaren Kiawe Sagapulitele. Obviously.
Give me Taylor Green. I can say Taylor Green's name.
That's a good pick, too.
Give me Taylor Green one, Jalen, since I can't say the name. I can't have the quarterback. 11 touchdowns, tied first in the nation, second in the nation in QBR, 307 total rushing yards from the quarterback position, puts him 11th most in the nation and puts him first amongst quarterbacks. So he's averaging over 90 yards rushing per game and damn near close to 300 yards passing per game. Taylor Green is having a really special season. We thought preseason, we thought there might be something there. Just had questions, major questions about what Arkansas's offensive line was going to look like. They ended up filling some holes in the transfer portal. That offensive line looks competent, and he looks great right now, 3 games in.
I made the statement yesterday on Vernon. I think Taylor Green is arguably the best quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah. Oh,
and they kind of gasped because I'm turning my back on a quarterback I will be taking. I turned my back on John Mateer, Oklahoma still in the SEC.
You're not going to take that quarterback if he comes back to me because I can say his name.
I think Taylor Green, from a steadfast standpoint, from a pure quarterback standpoint, has been the best quarterback in the SEC this year. But I will take with my second pick, Diego Pavia. Give me Diego Pavia. With him, it's not about the stats, although he has those too. He is a gamer. He is the heart of this team. He will risk his body for the Vanderbilt Commodores. You question it, he'll throw a block. There's video evidence. He is certifiably insane, complimentary. I love Diego Pavia. I have loved him since he peed on the field at New Mexico, something that he wishes people did not remember about that. But when he was at New Mexico State, that's when I knew he was crazy. And that's when I said, that quarterback, I want to follow him into the abyss. And now many others have jumped on the Diego Pavia train. I need him to focus more on next week's game and less on going on a date with Tate McRae, but that's okay. That's okay. I just need him to prove all of us believers right along the way. But bottom line is, from a favorite quarterback, just the way I take favorite quarterback is, do you make me audibly either giggle or yelp or kick my feet while I watch you? And Diego Pavia checks all those boxes.
All right, my next pick.
And the W turns into a V.
Okay.
I watch these things because I've watched many a breakdowns on Jaron Kiave Sagapulatele, and I didn't. It's real Kaloha instead of Aloha. It is all about JKS. It's real Kaloha instead of Aloha. It is all about JKS in Berkeley. You have a quarterback like him, and you can convince yourself that Cal in Berkeley. You have a quarterback like him, and you can convince yourself that Cal is going to rise from the ashes and be a relevant football program for the next few years. Some of the throws he makes are just incredible. And he's a freshman. He'll have his ups and downs, but in terms of the ceiling of what you can see from a quarterback on any given Saturday, give me JKS. You could have, if you had just done JKS.
I didn't know we were doing that with the name.
If you had paid attention last season in this regard and once again showed up in a big game, I just love the idea of a gamer as a quarterback, and he is a gamer.
How many of those do you think there are?
Two.
Two.
Diego Pavia and Haynes King. Yes.
Okay. I think Taylor Green is a gamer. I think he's a gamer, and
he's close.
Arkansas is going to get a couple of people. I thought Arkansas was going to get one. I think I can see Arkansas, because of that quarterback, getting a couple of people as we try and figure out. Jalen, we still down?
No, we're back.
Oh, we're back?
We're
cool.
so back.
Give me Jaden Mayava.
No! I didn't even think he was on your radar. Oh, man.
Give him to me. USC's quarterback leads the nation in QBR, 5th in total passing yards, leads the nation in yards per attempt as well. USC's been beating up on a bunch of cupcakes. We'll see what he does. He's got a bad Michigan State team because they're always bad. Screw them. Then he's got a tough gauntlet where there's Michigan, there's Notre Dame, and why do I feel like it's Penn State? It's a tough gauntlet, the next 3 of the next 4. So we'll see more about him. But Jaden is on my list. Flap. I wish I had a wind machine so I could have made that pick with my jersey billowing in the wind.
I didn't think there would be any way possible.
Yeah.
He's playing like a totally different player this year than last.
And he's doing that against lesser competition, but against lesser competition last year, he wasn't this.
Yes.
So there's calls for intrigue, interest, and a little bit of excitement coming out of whatever part of Los Angeles that school is in.
Yeah.
At least I got one of them. At least I've ruined one of your days. I could have got Diego and him. What would you have done? You wouldn't have been able to make it if I got both of those. What you want? Who you gonna get? Where's it at?
Hold on.
Come on now, we got a show to do. We can't just
I'm
be sitting
working
here.
on it.
We can't just be sitting here in silence while you think your way
I'm working
through
on
these
it.
things.
I'm making some last-second decisions between people. Okay.
Jalen's right. Release the list. We want the list. Where's the list? Who's on the list, Jessica? Show us the list.
Give me.
Come on. Give you who?
Tommy football. Give me Tommy Castellanos.
Okay.
We haven't seen as much of him since the demolition of Alabama week 1 for Florida State, but I think we will be seeing a lot more of him. Give Mike Norvell a football guy quarterback, and he lets him rip. And I think Tommy Castellanos is about to put together a pretty impressive season.
I know they lost. They lost a big game. I really like Joey Aguilar. I really do.
I do too.
Give me Joey Aguilar. I think that the arm strength, the decision making is there. You see him pushing the ball down the field, 302 passing yards per game on 9.5 yards per attempt, 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I think when it's all said and done, come season's end, he'll be one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC and in the nation. He's fun. He is fun for me to sit down and watch.
Okay, the one I wanted to take, but it's still too under the radar. But after this weekend, I think it could change. I love the Utah quarterback, Devon Dampier.
We're gonna find out about those two, both of those quarterbacks.
Yes, both.
Well,
of
you
them.
can't take him. You didn't know how to say his name.
I know. That's why I was going to beat myself at my own game. But he had a play. He's the Utah quarterback. Play against Wyoming, where it's like a clear busted play, ball on the ground. It's a mess. And what he makes of that, you're like, oh, you're awesome. Like, I love this. And he's been great against really bad teams, and we'll see this weekend against Texas Tech. But if we were doing like a redraft next week, there is a high chance that he would be on my list. But I need a little more data. I need a few more data points.
Well, we'll do this again at the end of the year. Why not?
We sure will.
Levitt was another one who was on my list, Arizona State quarterback. Listen, man, they lost to Mississippi State, and so Aguilar lost to Georgia. Levitt lost to Mississippi State, and so it is that the difference there was going back and forth about them. But yeah, that was, and then Tulane's quarterback, Retzlaff. Yeah, was on mine just because of the rushing ability that he brings. Not a tremendous passer, but he's got some electricity to him with the ball in his hand. Just a dude who's a playmaker, about 90 yards per game on the ground. He was on my list also.
I also had Carson Beck on my list. I just can't call him fun.
Yeah.
He's
a winner.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
And he's been excellent.
Yep.
But I just
don't look forward to.
He's the Heisman favorite right now.
Oh wow! But who was Oregon? Who was Oregon's quarterback last year?
Dante. Is it Dante Moore?
That's this year. Was he last year too? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was the same type of thing. I don't think he was last year. Was he?
He wasn't.
No, it was somebody else. Why do I feel like it was somebody else? Why do I feel like it was a dude named Chase? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting things mixed up.
Maybe I'm jumping.
But the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, he was there last year because he transferred from UCLA.
Okay.
Didn't he? I might be wrong. Oregon quarterback 2024-2025 season. I really thought it was him, but maybe it's not. Oh, no, we're so dumb. It's Dylan Gabriel.
Okay. We're not dumb.
He was the backup for Dylan Gabriel.
I blanked on Gabriel's name. But my point saying that is Gabriel was a Heisman front runner last year for a large portion of the season, just because he was the best quarterback on a good team.
God, how quickly we forget about Dylan Gabriel.
About regular quarterback play?
He's from the same area as Jaren Kiave Sagapulutele. JKS. He's from area with
Jessica.
Tua.
I can pronounce complicated names.
Okay. Tua Tagovailoa.
Keep flexing on
Dylan Gabriel.
And
Marcus Mariota. This kid's from all the same area as all of them. And you want to know who leads the state of Hawaii and the state record for, I think it's passing yards all time? JKS.
Okay.
Better than all of them. He's going to be a star. He's going to be a star, and he's going to stay at Cal.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Okay. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll do some Theater Thursday. Big movie week. Big loss for the movie community with Robert Redford. Plus, This new Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor, Paul Thomas Anderson movie is getting some of the craziest positive reviews we've had for a movie in a minute. We'll get into all the movie news after a quick break.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You want to be where you think the University of Memphis belongs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the next step is?
I think we're positioned, we're ripe for success. And so what I don't want to do is make an intermediate move if it's not going to position us well. And so my job is to make sure when that opportunity presents itself and the circumstance is right, that Memphis is prepared 100% to take advantage of it.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Welcome back. CJ's perching in the corner. Why are you throwing it? Why are you throwing it right now? No, don't. Jalen, director Jalen, he's in for director Jacob. You know, CJ, keep it on. Keep it on. We have some theater. Is this your tribute to Robert Redford? Is this your tribute to Robert Redford?
I didn't know we were starting with that.
I think Robert would appreciate it. He'd call it art. He'd say, give him an award at Sundance. Okay. That was cinema. Nothing but it. Robert Redford died this week. It made me sad. I gotta be honest. It's one of those actors that growing up in a household with parents who are a little bit on the older side, and this is an interesting jump into one of the funnier kind of like sub-stories from Robert Redford's death, which I think he would appreciate and find humor in, was the realization from a lot of people that a meme that is used quite often is not Zach Galifianakis, as many people thought, but it is Robert Redford from the movie Jeremiah Johnson in 1972. CJ, did you think this was Zach Galifianakis?
There's no way it could be anybody but Zach Galifianakis.
I only knew that it was Robert Redford because I came across it in a movie sub once where people were making fun of the fact that it looked so much like Zach Galifianakis, but it was actually Robert Redford. If I hadn't had that, I never saw Jeremiah Johnson. That doesn't even look like Robert Redford to me. It looks more like Zach Galifianakis than Robert Redford himself, but it was hysterical seeing so many people. My group chats were fired up over the realization and the knowledge that, whoa, this meme that I've used countless times is not Zach Galifianakis and is actually Robert Redford. One more legacy left behind from Robert Redford. It is also a testament to, I saw a really interesting think piece on this idea of like shared culture from what your parents watched, and the new generation is not, they don't really care what their parents watched or what their parents consumed, music, television, movies, so you don't have those older cultural references that some would have shared, and that one's a little bit of a reach because it looks so much like Zach Galifianakis, and not many people, it's not like Jeremiah Johnson was All the President's Men. It's not like it was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It was one of the deeper cuts of Robert Redford movies, but I did think that was a point of, I know who Robert Redford is because my parents loved movies with Robert Redford in them, and I was shown as a child. I mean, I remember watching The Way We Were with Robert Redford and Barbara Streisand when I was in like second grade, which was far too young to be watching The Way We Were. And then what did I play for my piano recital that year? The Way We Were, the theme from the movie. And someone probably was like, why is this child playing The Way We Were? But I watched it because my mom loved it. Or I wanted to learn how to play The Entertainer on the piano because my dad, one of his favorite movies was The Sting with Robert Redford. And then as I got older, watching All the President's Men, which is one of the best of all time, and you can love that, or Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, or The Natural. But I watched all those Robert Redford movies, and I'm not sure like future generations will have the same, and not everybody watches every movie, not everybody's parent was interested in the same things. But I think there's going to be less and less of that.
I don't think that's true at all.
Really?
I think that we've played this thing up way too much about the losing of the recipes, about the super segmented parts of our world, right? We've always been super segmented. You bring up Barbara Streisand. You know, the first time I saw her was in Meet the Fockers. That was the first time I saw her. I have no clue what else she's been in. I don't know. I didn't go back to see anything else about her. I just know her from that movie. Robert Redford. I know him because he was the guy in Winter Soldier, and I do believe he was a dad in, not Babe, what's the other pig movie? Charlotte's Web. I know him from that, right? That like we exist, we've always existed in our own little pockets and segments of culture. And so when somebody like this passes RIP, I recognize greatness when greatness comes through. RIP to Mr. Redford. But when somebody comes through and we're forced to, I won't say reckon, but acknowledge, hey, everybody might not have the same emotional tie to this particular person for whatever reason, I think then it becomes, oh, well, everybody knew it. No, everybody you grew up with knew that. Everybody I grew up with, nobody knew much about Robert Redford, right? My parents were younger. I'm sure they might have known something, but it wasn't like they were showing us movies with Redford in them.
But that's my point, is that there used to be, and you have been really important in my life to challenge this idea of like everybody knew who this person was, but you also don't, like, it's not like you were watching all of the movies all the time. Like, Robert Redford was bigger than the movies because Robert Redford created Sundance. So if you were in a household, a household that was a big movie household, not a big Robert Redford household necessarily, but somebody who was big in the movie space, no matter like what wake of life you came from, Robert Redford held cultural importance because, one, he was a movie star of his generation. And again, generation. So like, I'd be curious, anyone who grew up with parents who at this point in time are in their mid-70s, like what their reaction is to Robert Redford. For me, Barbara Streisand came from those parents, and she's still alive. I'm not trying to kill off Barbara Streisand. But then also, like, we were a household that was interested in musicals, and Barbra Streisand crossed those barriers. Like I grew up watching Hello Dolly with Barbra Streisand, like the movie version of Hello Dolly, and A Star Is Born, and things like that. So I agree with you in the sentiment of not everybody knows everything and everyone because it all depends on who you come from. But we used to have more, at least like larger portions of people all knew who these people were. Like, okay, for you even, like Malcolm Jamal Warner. A lot of people knew who Malcolm Jamal Warner was. I think the next generation would have less of that. I watched The Cosby Show not live. I watched it as syndicated television as a kid because we all watched and that one I feel like I can say, we all watched The Cosby Show because we were all watching cable television and whatever was on those channels that we had. Now everybody has streaming, so people have access to different things. Whereas before we were kind of funneled into the same stuff, or you had MTV, VH1, BET, Fox, like those channels in the 30s that all were grouped together. Nick at Night brought you to those like older shows that you would have had no reason to watch, and now you don't have those. That's my kind of stretched point, I guess.
I got you.
Does that make more sense?
That makes a lot more sense. I can follow that logic. With that being said, I've got nieces and nephews, and at times we're sitting around eating, and the niece is on her phone. It's like, hey, get off your phone, eat your food. What are you even doing? You know what she's doing? She's watching TV shows and movies that I watched as a kid.
And I like that.
Wait a second. How did you come across this? I don't know. It was on Tubi. I sat down and watched it, and I really, really like it. It's like, okay, we have Tubi. We can put this up on the screen for you. The last thing that she was watching, which I don't think the wife was super thrilled that I let the 5-year-old nephew watch, it was Rush Hour. So we're sitting down and we're eating. It's like, what are you even watching? She's like, oh, Rush Hour. It's like, oh, give me your phone.
Where did she get it?
It's on Tubi.
Okay, perfect.
Like so much of that stuff, the funneling component is, hey, what did you have access to at a young age? And you had access to cable. I did as well for parts of my life. So Nick at Night introduced me to Mary Tyler Moore, introduced me to Dick Van Dyke, introduced me to Lucille Ball, right? Well, now it's not that. Now it is everybody's got access to Tubi because Tubi is free and other free streaming services. So they're just hopping on that, searching a category, and then sitting down, the younger people, and then sitting down and watching it when they're not on the tickety-tockety. And so that is how I think we continue to pass down the legend, the lore, the legacies of these important people in acting. That's how I think it works.
Yeah. I think like even you saying that though, they got it filtered through Tubi or whatever. It's less of a, now kids are finding what they want to watch as opposed to parents forcing them to, either parents forcing them to watch something or TV forcing them to watch. So, I mean, even something as stupid as Showgirls. Like I saw Showgirls because it was on VH1 all the time.
With the painted,
like there would have been no reason in my life to like actively seek out watching Showgirls if not for the fact that it was on VH1 religiously in that time. So, and I think too, like even you knowing Barbra Streisand from Meet the Fockers, like that would happen too. Like you would be introduced to an actor or an actress through something later in life. Even Giancarlo Esposito. I totally forgot that he was in Do the Right Thing. Completely forgot.
Do the right thing, School Days, and I feel like he was in Malcolm X. That's the only way I know him, only place I know him from. And whenever he steps on the screen, I'm like, okay, that's a bad black person right there.
See,
he's going to do some bad stuff.
I didn't watch Do the Right Thing until I had watched the first season because I watched Do the Right Thing in college and I watched Breaking Bad in college. And so I saw him in Breaking Bad and then he pops up in Do the Right Thing. But my recognition is, oh, this is bad guy in Breaking Bad. So it's like, but you would come to those things eventually. Anyway, maybe everyone does still have it, and the algorithm will make sure that the kids see the important people in the life. But Robert Redford was a hottie, so shout out to a hottie and a philanthropist and someone who was big in
Got the Presidential
movies.
Medal of Freedom in 2016.
Yeah, he was really important. I hate that Sundance moved. It moved to Boulder, out of Sundance, Utah. But we went as a family when I was young to, my mom really wanted to go to, not the film festival itself, because that's hard to go to, but just like going to Sundance and seeing where Sundance is. And it's beautiful. Like it was just such a cool concept to have a little film festival that focused on smaller movies that focused on, I heard an interview with him once, like the movies that delved into the gray area of life, like the big blockbusters and the big money makers were always movies that showed life as pretty like black and white, but that's not real life. And so he was focused on more of the human interest stories through movies. So that was a loss for the industry this month. We're gaining lots of good movies that are coming out. I've heard lots of good things about The Long Walk that's in theaters that we talked about last week. And then the embargo must have been lifted on reviews for One Battle After Another, the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tiana Taylor, because all of a sudden my timeline was flooded with reviews of One Battle After Another yesterday, and they're near perfect. Like crazy positive reviews across the board. And it has a 97 out of a possible 100 on Metacritic, which is the highest rated movie of this decade on Metacritic's best movies of all time list. Rotten Tomatoes is hit or miss, but it has a 96% score off the bat. The Associated Press hailed it as an American masterpiece, noting that the movie touches on topical political themes and depicts a society where gun violence, white power, and immigration departments recur in an ongoing dance, both farcical and tragic. Farcical is a hard word to read in real life. But discussing
Are you just reading farcical in your dreams?
No, I just read farcical on the...
Yeah, I understand. You said
I meant like the act of reading the word farcical, reading out loud. Anyway, Discussing Film said that it's the most radical movie released by a Hollywood studio in years and one of the best movies you may ever watch. It'd be one thing if this was one review. Every review had that sort of energy behind it. So I thought the preview for this movie looked weird as hell. I gotta be honest. I like Paul Thomas Anderson quite a bit. I like his past work, but it's not like I was sitting here just waiting for this movie to come out. And honestly, the last PTA movie that I saw, Licorice Pizza, was not my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. So I wasn't sure where he was going in this direction with his career, but sign me up. I'll be there. I will make sure that I see it in theaters.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Look forward to hearing you talk about it.
Why won't you see it?
Because I don't like those movies. You know,
one of the movies that you've drafted in our drafts at times. Didn't you draft There Will Be Blood?
Yeah, I love There Will Be Blood.
Same director. Why would you not go see this one?
Because that very hit or miss on those types of movies. Most of the time, those types of movies bore me.
What did you like about the Anaconda trailer?
You know, I don't.
How did you know that's what I was going to say?
You know, I don't watch trailers, but I'm excited to see Paul Rudd
counter unexpected events when they enter the jungle. Oh, so it's based on the movie Anaconda, the 1997 movie.
Loosely, isn't it?
Yeah, they want to recreate it.
They want to recreate it, and they're not going to do a good job at recreating it. If Ice Cube pops up in this movie, that'd be incredible.
My Anaconda don't. My Anaconda don't. More importantly, DREAMGIRLS is being revived on Broadway. Here's your one piece of Broadway news of the week, the month. I don't often use Theater Thursday as an actual theater vessel, but CJ sent it, so now he can listen to me talk about how I've been deep in TikTok on who will be cast in the revival of DREAMGIRLS. Nobody knows. This director, Camille A. Brown, is the person who was tapped to direct the DREAMGIRLS revival, and she's very I don't know, she's one of the best up and coming. She's not up and coming at this point, she's established, but I'm excited to see the direction that she goes. Some people are thinking, are you familiar with Alex Newell? No. Alex Newell was on Glee, and Alex Newell, I think they'd be spectacular. Some people would love to see Alex Newell and Amber Riley, also from Glee, split the role of Effie, but Amber Riley, I think, has some vocal issues where there's a reason to believe that she would not be able to do the role full time. So if they both took it, but all I care about is an actress named Joy Woods, who's an up and comer in the Broadway space. And she was just in Gypsy with Audrey McDonald, and I'm obsessed with her and Jasmine Rogers. And as long as those two are cast in it, I really don't care who else is cast in it. And I can't wait, because I love a revival, because revivals generally mean it's a show that's great. And so great, they want to make it again. And we haven't had a DREAMGIRLS revival. I don't think we've had a DREAMGIRLS revival since the DREAMGIRLS movie came out. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think we have. And DREAMGIRLS is a great show full of great music that will then take over your TikTok, or not your TikTok, but my TikTok, because I'll think that something's really taken off, and then I realize it's just all 100 of us listening to We are dream girls.
Who's going to do Stepping Into the Bad Side? That's my jam.
There's actor Jeremy Pope, who I really like.
Like that's my jam.
Gonna take a free ride. I love that show. All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. We will see you all tomorrow. It'll be a Friday. Cannot wait. WNBA playoff action tonight. Thursday night football tonight. What did you say you were going to watch? Oh, you wanted to be in the locker room.
I want to be in the locker room.
I was like, was there something else that was on tonight?
Hey, Tyreek. Tua said you don't be open, dog. He said you not open like that. And they just step out the way.
All right. We'll see what happens.
Oh.
We'll see what happens. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your day.
Got a great joke.
Bye.
Got a great joke.